Hi, my name is Megan Deluge. I live right here in Rat County. I farm alongside my sister, my brother-in-law, and my father. We milk 140 cows on 170 acres here in Janesville, and we also run a farm camp and tour business, as well as a women's clothing boutique. As a herds person, being my main role, we focus on herd health, cow comfort, and sharing what we do on the farm through the efforts of social media. We have a growing account that we get to interact with consumers and other farmers, and it's been really great to share that experience of our daily life on the farm. 2018, we wanted to diversify our dairy market, and what we found we were most passionate about besides dairy farming is educating consumers, specifically the next generation, which is our kids here in Rat County. We host a farm camp, we do field trips, private family tours as well. And I would say our biggest reach with the students is through farm camp, and they get to use their imagination while learning and having fun on the farm. With farm camp, we really want to target the 7 to 12-year-old age range. That age range is so hungry for knowledge, and it's so important for our dairy farm to reach the students of that generation because they are the future, and we want to make sure that they are eating their dairy products, eating their meat products, and making sure that they know where their food comes from. On top of sharing the health benefits of meat and milk products, we want to show the livelihood. Our family is running this dairy farm, and we're so proud that it's 100% family owned and operated. And although it can be a little tricky on some days, we really make a great team. We divide, we conquer. Expanding even further into bringing fashion on the farm with our women's clothing boutique that also doubles as a gift shop for farm camp and tours. We really want to just get people on the farm, keep that conversation going, share and show what we are doing, whether it's in person or through social media. What's really rewarding is being able to see these returning farm campers come back, carpooling with their friends and having the conversations with their parents. With having a social media following and engaging with these consumers, what we found is that's improvement is these conversations, starting a conversation, asking a question, getting a consumer's input, and truthfully answering really tough questions. Farmers no longer have just the job of farming. We have the job of educating consumers, being authentic, having true conversations, being vulnerable, and showing exactly what we're doing, and diversifying our market. I'm highly passionate about farming. This is our livelihood, and we are working blood, sweat, and tears to keep going. And success for me is taking over my grandmother's dairy farm with my sister and embracing femininity, impacting women, teaching the youth, and keeping this farm going for generations to come.
Hi, my name is Livia Doyle, and I am a fourth grade teacher at Mineral Point Elementary School. My husband and I farm in Mineral Point, Wisconsin with our family. We are the proud parents of 3 young boys. And on our farm, we grow corn, beans, alfalfa, and raise just over 60 head of beef cattle. I also serve as Iowa County's Ag in the Classroom coordinator, where I enjoy working with teachers on finding ways to teach the story of agriculture to young students. Behind me are the empty desks of my students. Although they are only 9 and 10 years old today, I realize they are tomorrow's consumers, voters, and leaders in the community. Realizing this, I strive to do my best to connect my students with today's ever-changing agriculture industry. I want my students to have an understanding of where their food comes from, how it's grown and cared for. And I want my students to understand that farmers are good, smart people who live and work in our communities. I want my students to understand that agriculture affects and connects us. From the food we eat, to the clothes we wear on our back, to the fuel we put in our vehicle, we have agriculture to thank. Throughout the school year, I weave agriculture in lots of different activities. My students get their hands dirty in our school garden. We explore Wisconsin's dairy industry by making butter, ice cream, and participate in the Adopt a Cow program. We travel to a local farm where students experience daily farm life and meet and talk with farmers. I invite a variety of farmers, Farm Bureau members, and local agriculturalists into the classroom. My students listen to them share their stories and ask an abundance of questions. Additionally, each year my students participate in Wisconsin Farm Bureau's Egg in the Classroom essay contest. We dive deep into the subject and have fun researching and putting together meaningful essays about the topic. Several years ago, my students and I embarked on a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Together, we made history as we proposed cheese to be the official state dairy product of Wisconsin. This proposal was swiftly signed into law in a record-breaking 4-month time frame. However, this was no easy task. My students researched heavily on this topic and put together a top-notch proposal. Our idea quickly became a bill and gained massive support, and before long, the governor came to our school and signed our bill into law, making cheese the official state dairy product of Wisconsin. Throughout my years of teaching, I have seen firsthand the lasting effects and positive impact that agriculture plays in the lives of my students. At the end of the day, my goals are simple. I want to connect my students to where their food comes from. I want to teach my students that agriculture is a strong and powerful industry, and I want my students to understand that farmers are hardworking people whom they can trust and can go to if they have any questions. Watching this through the eyes of my students pushes me to continue teaching agriculture's story. My students are tomorrow's future, and I want to help guide and teach them as best I know how so that they are able to make positive decisions and actions in the future of agriculture.
I'm Sydney Endress. I'm a dairy farmer in Lodi, and I'm a part of Columbia County Farm Bureau. On my family's farm, I am a farm manager, and my brother and I are currently working on transitioning the farm from our dad to us as the next generation. And to ensure that that happens, we have very open and clear communication with our dad of what steps do we need to take to make that happen, and what are our goals into the future to make our business viable moving forward. On the farm, I manage our accounting, our team that we have, and our cows. And my favorite part of that is our team. They take care of a lot of day-to-day stuff, which is so important for our business to run. I try to do daily check-ins with everybody, and I'm able to do that because I can speak Spanish with most of them. I do trainings regularly with them, and then also take care of everything that makes them feel valued on the farm. And since I came back last year, I've seen the morale of our team improve, and also our finances have become much more organized. Outside of the farm, I think it's important to be involved in the community. I chair the Cows on the Concourse event in downtown Madison, where we bring cows to the Capitol Square, and a lot of people get to see and interact with a cow for their very first time. And while they're probably not going to go into agriculture, having a general excitement around it is good for the future of agriculture. I'm also the Columbia County YFA chair, and I think it's important to connect young farmers together to share resources so we can do better moving into the future. On my family's farm, my brother and I are committed to farming into the future, but because we both have interest in raising families here, and we have specific goals set to grow our business, and that's including diversification. We have a seed business that we would like to grow, and then also a value-added store that we would like to grow. And we have yearly benchmarks of what goals do we want to meet to keep those businesses growing and viable. And with the value-added aspect, if we can continue to grow that and get more connections with our community as a local farmer, that in itself is important for the future of agriculture, and specifically our farm moving into the future. And really our main goal here on the farm is to be able to make a living and raise our families, and if we do that, we consider it success.
My name is Amelia Hayden. I'm currently the agriculture teacher at Osseo Fairchild School District, and I'm a member of the Jackson County Farm Bureau, and I recently just moved from Walworth County, where I grew up. I fell in love with agriculture education and working with the youth of agriculture Through my role as Wisconsin FFA state president and serving and working with FFA members across the state and realizing just how bright the future of agriculture education was. Because of that, I decided to pursue a career where I am now, teaching students and working with them every day to develop the career skills and knowledge that they need to succeed in the agriculture industry. I teach classes in pathways from animal science to biotechnology to plant science and ag mechanics. And in each class, I strive to not only give students the knowledge and skill foundation that they need to be successful, but also help them realize what it means to be a part of agriculture and the agriculture community in Wisconsin. Because it's about more than your career. It's about what your values are and your drive to stay involved with the community and organizations like Farm Bureau. And I really strive to impart that value in my students too. The importance of being involved in that agriculture is a community where people can come together and collaborate and work towards a common goal and a greater future for the industry. As I look forward to my next steps as an agriculture teacher, I am hoping to continue to build my program. As I just took over this agriculture program from a previous retiring teacher, I have a lot of big dreams for the Osseo Fairchild School District and different cool programs that we can get rolling for students. You can see behind me we've got an aquaculture tank where students are learning all about aquaculture, and we've got a hydroponic system where students are growing vegetables in water, and along with more traditional production such as raising broiler chickens and having a greenhouse. But I'm really excited to see how we can continue building those programs, creating partnerships with different businesses in our community, and really being able to give students these 21st century skills about what it takes to be involved in agriculture. I'm also hoping to build up our FFA program. We've already seen some measurable success in seeing more and more students joining the FFA. It was standing room only in this classroom for our first FFA meeting of the year, and it's only gotten busier since then. So we're really excited. I'm really excited to see everything that we'll be able to continue driving towards as we're creating a sustainable future for agriculture, using agriculture education in an awesome space with awesome facilities like I have here at the Osseo Fairchild School District.
Hello, my name is Carolyn Twardokis, and I grew up on my family's dairy farm and currently reside in Dodge County. I'm a member of the Dodge County Farm Bureau and serve as YFA, Promotion and Education, and Egg in the Classroom chairs. My full-time job is a field representative for Saputo Cheese USA, where I work with dairy farmers to maintain milk quality, state rules and regulations, and animal welfare. I am a Farmers Assuring Responsible Management, or FARM, program trainer and evaluator. I work with my farmers to make various improvements, such as implementing standard operating procedures on farms to help prepare their farms for the future. I strive to continue having positive relationships with various generations of dairy farmers. Within Farm Bureau, my big undertaking the past few years with the help of the board was our Farm City Day program. Historically, our program brought around 300 Dodge County students to a Farm Bureau member farm. However, the pandemic really threw a wrench in those plans as we prepped for 2020. 2020 was a challenging year for our Farm City Day program, as it was for much of the world. But we learned a lot, reflected on what worked, and we came up with a plan. Working for a cheese company and growing up on my family's dairy farm, I know how important it is to make sure that our younger generation truly knows where their food comes from. As I started planning for the 2021-2022 Farm City Day programs, we changed up the approach to a virtual format and were able to reach around 525 students in 13 area schools. Over the past 3 years that I've chaired our Egg in the Classroom program, we've had some pretty major setbacks. Shortages of bus drivers, having to stay 6 feet apart, lack of funding, etc. But by taking some time to regroup and figure out a new plan, we've helped the program get into the hands of over 525 area students, which to me is a huge success. As I look towards my future, I am looking forward to Farm City Day 2023 and the new hybrid approach that we'll be able to implement as we continue to face staffing shortages and other issues by being able to utilize both hands-on experiences and in-classroom presentations. My goal is to someday get some form of our program into every single school in Dodge County by breaking that down into small-term goals and making small steps to improve every single year to make that long-term goal possible. When I was growing up, I was fortunate to grow up here and be around various other people older and more wise than me to constantly learn about agriculture. There are a lot of kids that are not that fortunate. I enjoy being able to give back to the industry that has given me so much over the years by doing my best to educate as many people as possible about the industry. As I look towards my future within the industry and Farm Bureau, I look forward to continuing my success story by educating the next generation to be knowledgeable consumers and maybe someday working alongside and serving on the Farm Bureau board with those that I've educated. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Sammy Van Derzen, and I'm an agriculture teacher and FFA advisor at Westvere High School. I also serve as a board member and Young Farmer and Agriculturalist Chair for the Brown County Farm Bureau. I've been nominated for the 35 Under 35 award in the category of Sustainable Futures. In my time as an ag teacher, going on my 6th year, I've helped many students develop a passion for agriculture and encouraged many students to actually pursue careers in agriculture as well. One of which, my past students has begun pursuing a career in agricultural education. I teach a variety of ag courses, including animal science, horticulture and landscaping, conservation and natural resources, agri-food science, wildlife and forestry, and vet studies. Within these classes, students are exposed to a large amount of careers, agricultural content, and hands-on labs and activities. A few of my favorite learning experiences that I do with students include clinical exams on small animals, fish taxidermy, and suture and injection practices. During my time as the YFA chair in Brown County, I've also been able to host and attend a couple of agricultural outreach events within the community. For the last 2 years, I've facilitated and ran an event one Saturday during the month in July at the new zoo in Green Bay. We handed out free ice cream to zoo goers to celebrate and promote July as National Ice Cream Month. We also had a variety of ag literacy activities for the children to do, including milk fireworks, soybean babies, and agriculture plinko. Farm Bureau and FFA members from Brown County were able to interact and share their ag knowledge with over 300 people that had visited the zoo that day. This past July, we were able to host our event in conjunction with the zoo's Party with the Penguins Penguin Conservation event. I also set up an educational booth, amongst others, at our county's Sunset on the Farm event, ran by one of the local dairies. This public event drew in 300 people and had an emphasis on conservation education. The graduating class of 2022 was actually my first class of students that I was able to be with for all 4 years. And I've been able to celebrate the successes of these students' high school agricultural and FFA experiences with them. At the last state FFA convention, our chapter had 2 students receive their state degree, 2 students receive proficiency awards in different categories, and 1 student actually ran for state FFA office, which was a pretty great accomplishment for our small but growing chapter. I hope that as I continue my career in agricultural education, I can encourage more and more students to build their passion and spread their knowledge of agriculture. Thank you for considering me for this award.
Hello everyone, my name is Leah Weniger from Washington County. I grew up on a small dairy farm where I currently work managing the dairy herd, field work, daily chores, and working equipment. I also work at Ronin Barnyard Adventures, giving farm tours along with being a farm camp instructor in the summer months. On top of all that, I serve as a Washington County Ag Ambassador in the 2022 Dodge County Fairs to the Fair. I got my associate's degree at Fox Valley Technical College in Ag Business, Animal Science, and Technology. Because of my strong passion for agriculture, in the future I want to open my own farm camp or visitor center to continue to engage today's youth as well as the public about farming and telling the story of where the food comes from. Whether it's at farm camp, Farm Bureau 4th grade tours, Ag Ambassador, or even when my younger cousins visit the farm, I love seeing kids' eyes light up and their expressions on their face when they see a cow having a baby or feeding a calf for the first time. I was blessed with being raised on a farm, and I want to give others the memories and experiences I had growing up. I love educating others on what I know best through my various jobs or on social media. The more I talk to the public, attend Farm Bureau media training, or teach lessons through Ag Ambassador or at Rodents, the better and more comfortable I am at talking, answering questions, and keeping my audience engaged. When I overhear kids talking to their parents about the things I taught them about agriculture, I know they listened and my point got across. Farming runs in my blood. It has been passed down through generations. Now it's my turn to give back and tell the stories of being a farmer. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Abigail Winkle, and I am a member of the Manitowoc County Farm Bureau. Throughout college, I was active in Collegiate Farm Bureau at UW-Madison. Currently, I live in Kiel, Wisconsin with my husband Kelvin, and am the program manager at the Farm Wisconsin Discovery Center just south of Manitowoc. Through my role, I have a unique opportunity to connect with an especially urban audience as folks come to Farm Wisconsin to learn more about how their food, fuel, and fiber is produced in their state. One of my favorite parts of my job is coordinating our school field trips and welcoming youth through our doors from throughout the state of Wisconsin and even beyond. Field trips offer students a chance to dive deep into Wisconsin agriculture, whether they are dissecting a strawberry and looking for the DNA inside, or whether they are working with the dairy cattle nutrition and learning about what we feed our modern dairy cows. These field trips offer students a chance to consider many different career opportunities in agriculture, especially our urban students who may have not thought about careers in agriculture, but enjoy science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and now have connected that to a real-life career within Wisconsin agriculture. One specific example that comes to mind is a student who is interested in the human medicine field, and after a labor and delivery lab here at Farm Wisconsin, she is now considering veterinary sciences as a potential career pathway. It's conversations like these that encourage me to continue building upon our field trip offerings here at Farm Wisconsin and expanding potential career pathways that we're exploring with students who come to a field trip here at Farm Wisconsin. In the spring of 2022, we welcomed over 2,000 students here to the Farm Wisconsin Discovery Center, and students that traveled an average of 50 miles to be here, so we know we're reaching those urban audiences. I'm proud of the partnerships Farm Wisconsin has formed with many of our commodity groups and agriculture industries here in the state of Wisconsin to help not only these field trips come to life, but events throughout our calendar year. In the future, we look forward to continuing partnerships with our sponsors and donors that make these field trips and unique opportunities happen, so we can maintain a strong and healthy workforce within Wisconsin agriculture for many years to come.